Well, this is going to be a little bit different today because I bought a Bambu Lab X1 carbon combo, and one of the reasons why I bought it is I wanted to do a little bit more carbon fiber, and I have a Flash Forge Adventurer 4 over there, which is a really good printer, and you can see the size is about the same. But the one thing I like about the Bambu Lab is it has this AMS. So what that allows me to do is put 4 different colors or different types of filaments inside of here, and it will automatically choose and feed whatever filament I choose in the program to do the prints. Now, I'm not going to show you an unboxing because I've already done the unboxing, and even though the unboxing wasn't really eventful, it did have one flaw. There were 2 screws that were not attached inside of my Bambu Lab that should have been securing the bed. So, okay, that was a quality control problem from Bambu, but you know, they had the stickers there that showed me that there was a screw there. And it would have been funny to video me trying to find the screws that weren't there. That was kind of interesting. But I got it to work. And one of the other problems I had when I first powered it up was my fault again, is when it was pushing the filament through, the tube, the Teflon tube in the back, pulled out. And I just had maybe 5 or 6 meters worth of filament laying on the ground, which I thought was pretty interesting. But doing the unload process for the AMS, it picked up all of that filament that I ejected, and then I reattached the tube, the Teflon tube, and everything was good after that, so okay. So then I went ahead and I did my first test print, which is in process, by the way, right now. And I'm not sure, you know, what's going on with it, because it's sure doing a lot of stuff, and I don't see a lot of stuff happening down here as far as filament being laid down. Well, I guess there is some filament being laid down. So it's starting the process right now. And it's noisy. It's not as quiet as my Adventurer 4. My Adventurer 4, there's nothing really wrong with it. It just didn't do a couple of things like carbon fiber, and didn't really do TPU, which is a flexible filament, which is one of the things I wanted to do eventually. I'm not all that sure that Bambu Labs can do TPU as well, even though they say they can. They cannot do TPU through the AMS. So, okay. One of the other things that I noticed right away is they gave you 3 different samples of filament. Now, one of them is the PLA, of course, which everybody uses. Then they gave you PLA carbon fiber, which is, you know, unexpected. And they also gave me the support material PLA too, which I think is pretty good. The only problem is that you're paying $1,500 for the printer, and they only give you 250 grams of the material. You know, how hard would it be for them to actually give you a full spool of each one of the materials? I think that would be really good. But okay, I can understand that. But once it gets printing, it's printing fast, and I will say that it's printing a heck of a lot faster than the Adventurer 4, maybe by a factor of 2. So it's too early in this process to say yes or no whether or not this is a good deal. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. What I don't like about this Adventurer 4, I mean not the Adventurer 4, the Bambu Labs, is the amount of time it takes from the time you tell it to start the print to the time it actually does the print. It has to go through, you know, the normal heat ups, which, you know, I expect. That's about the same between the Adventurer 4 and the Bambu Labs. The heating time is about the same. You got to heat up the filament, and then the next thing you got to do is, okay, now here we're going to be doing calibrations. So it does all kinds of calibrations before it's ready to print. And then it starts printing. And I will say, from what I'm seeing over there, when it prints, it prints. So you know, we'll leave that to the second part of this video to see what happens. Now they do give you a glue stick, which in my estimation is literally glue on a stick. It's not like the liquid glue that I usually use, which is this magic stuff. I usually use this. This is more of a white glue stick, like just like an Elmer's glue. I don't know if it is Elmer's glue or not, but that's what it looks like to me. So we'll see what that does. The other thing that really confused me initially is this. They included this without actually telling me they included this. And what this is an extra surface, a cool plate that you use for PLA. And it just was really confusing for me at first. Do I put this on right away? Or do I, what is this? But it's an extra, so I guess eventually you're going to ruin the heck out of the PLA plate that's on there, the cool plate, and they give you an extra one. So I think what we're going to do now is just, you know, let it go ahead and do the print, which should take a few minutes, and I'll get back on the video and we'll see what happens here. Okay, this is the first print, and I'm not sure exactly what it was doing over here. But anyways, this is a real quick print, and it's supposed to come right off, and it's not coming right off very easily here. So let me see what I can do about it. There it goes. So that's not too bad. There's enough glue stick here to help me, and I guess this is supposed to be a scraper to get other stuff off. The quality of the build is good. You know, it's a small build, but it's good. I like it. Yes, you know, this is the one that I did. Let me get this out of the way, the build plate. This is the one that I did on my Adventurer 4, and it's, you know, pretty durable. I think this is pretty wussy to be used as a cleanup tool. I think I will, yeah, I will probably stick with this. But, you know, I'll try this out and see how long this lasts. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is print a more complicated and an actual real-world example of what I need. And we'll get back to you when that's almost ready to go. Okay, this is the part that I'm using for a camera mount for a Sony tube, and this printed on the Bambu in 47 minutes using PLA. When I printed the same part out on the Adventurer 4 from FlashForge, it took 3 hours and 17 minutes to print. And I gotta say, the print quality on this is very, very, very good. Even on these overhangs that I had, I don't have any major problems. You know, this is a production part as far as I'm concerned. I really, really appreciate the quality. So I'm going to be doing a lot of printing over the next few days, that's for sure. Well, I generally don't do this, but I printed out a little Benchy over here. And wow, I think it turned out pretty darn good. So I'm kind of happy with that. And one of the first things that my software did is updated itself. So after I printed 2 items, then it decided it was time for an update, which I thought was curious, you know, but I guess maybe they did that on purpose. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with this Benchy. And one of the surprising things that I did is I used the green filament that they supplied me with the PLA. I still haven't finished stripping this off yet a little bit here. See how easy it comes off. Well, anyways, I was using the green filament and I was making a poop bucket. Everybody knows that the carbon X1 poops every time that it changes the filament or moves the filament in and out, and it cleans it out. It ends up with a little bit of poop, and that collects and just falls off on the floor. Well, you know, online there's a nice little program that will generate this poop bucket. So I started printing it, and this was like a 6-hour print, and unfortunately I forgot to make this like a vase, so it used up a lot of filament. So I used up all of the green filament, the 250 grams of filament between everything that you saw being printed on the bottom. And when I came back to look at it, the filament was gone. So I just put a new roll of filament into the AMS, and it took off automatically and finished. And the seam where it's making contact with the green, even after a period of time that I left it alone, is nice. I mean, I just really can't see it. And it did a really good job, you know, of finishing this up. And there's a little logo on here from whoever designed this particular thing. So this will be the last print that I'm going to be doing on this video. And needless to say, you know, this one took a long time to finish, but the quality was very, very good. In the build volume, this is, you could probably build a little bit bigger than this, but this is huge. So I'm quite happy with the Bambu X1 carbon at this time period.